This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj, read by Saunthi Thavam. Government decides to remove price control on sugar. The electricity and power generation officers and professionals point out that it is important to look at the long-term benefits from the Yuga Dhanavi investment rather than looking at the short-term shortcomings and drawbacks. The government has taken effective measures to retake the SLIIT and develop it as a state-owned university. COVID update: 474 new infections confirmed so far today. Sri Lanka records 21 more COVID-related deaths. Health officials warn against unnecessary travel during weekend. World leaders promise to end deforestation by 2030. In news overseas, Facebook to end use of facial recognition software. And in sports, T20 international rankings, Banindu Hasaranga claims top spot, Babar Azam returns to number 1 position. The government has decided to remove the price control imposed on sugar, State Minister Lasant Alagiyawanna said. Through a Gazette notification, the government had declared maximum retail prices for sugar and rice with effect from September 2nd. The maximum retail price MRP of white sugar was declared at 122 rupees per kilogram unpacketed and 125 rupees per kilogram packeted, while the MRP of brown or red sugar was set as 125 rupees per kilogram unpacketed and 128 rupees per kilogram packeted. The Cabinet of Ministers on September 27th had decided to remove the price control imposed on rice. Consumer Affairs Authority (CAA) had then revoked the Gazette notification which specified maximum retail prices MRP on rice. The government has taken effective measures to retake the SLIIT slit from the private sector. Meanwhile, the government has taken measures to develop the Sri Lanka Institute of Information Technology slit in Malabe as a state university. It will be taken back to the government, cancelling its transaction in 2015 during Yahapalaya government. It has been reported that about 3 billion rupees of Mahafala funds were misappropriated during the past few years. The slit will be operated as a fee-living government-owned independent institution at present. The Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry says that another 474 persons have tested positive for the novel coronavirus today, November 3rd. This pushes the total number of COVID-19 cases registered in the country thus far to 542,686. According to official figures, the number of virus-infected patients currently under treatment stands above 15,000. Meanwhile, the total recoveries count is now at 513,880. The total number of people who died of COVID-19 infection in Sri Lanka moved up as 21 more fatalities were confirmed by the Director General of Health Services on Tuesday, November 2nd. The new development has pushed the official death toll from the virus outbreak in the country to 13,791. The latest victims include 6 males and 15 females, the Department of Government Information said. According to official data, 16 deaths were reported among elderly people aged above 60 years. In addition, 5 people aged between 30 to 59 years have also fallen victim to the virus infection. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
More than 100 world leaders have promised to end and reverse deforestation by 2030 in the COP26 Climate Summit's first major deal. Brazil, where stretches of the Amazon rainforest have been cut down, was among the signatories on Tuesday. The pledge includes almost £14 billion or $19.2 billion of public and private funds. Experts welcomed the move but warned a previous deal in 2014 had failed to slow deforestation at all and commitments needed to be delivered on. Felling trees contributes to climate change because it depletes forests that absorb vast amounts of the warming gas CO2. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who is hosting the global meeting in Glasgow, said, "Quote, more leaders than ever before, a total of 110, had made the landmark commitment," unquote. The two-week summit in Glasgow is seen as crucial if climate change is to be brought under control. The countries who have signed the pledges, including Canada, Brazil, Russia, China, Indonesia, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the US and the UK, the full list is here, cover around 85% of the world's forest. Some of the funding will go to developing countries to restore damaged land, tackle wildfires and support indigenous communities. That's local news.
Just as love and freedom are important to a child, so too is knowledge. Encouraging their pursuit of knowledge is our most important responsibility as parents.
Sri Lanka Insurance Minimutu education plans ensure a secure future for your child with a higher education fund, comprehensive protection and a range of additional covers. Minimutu education plans for children who dare to dream. Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The electricity and power generation officers and professionals point out that it is important to look at the long-term benefits from the Yugadhanavi investment rather than looking at the short-term shortcomings of the exercise. It is wise to think about the future and make initiatives at this juncture. 95% of the population receive electricity at this moment. The country should look for low-cost power generation projects to fulfill the total demand of the electricity. If not, the government cannot control the rapid increase of the electricity bills. Therefore, effective measures should be taken to produce electricity at low cost and thereby burden on the consumers should be reduced substantially. The country also should look into other energy sources to produce electricity in an environment-friendly manner. This requires new innovation, new thoughts and new implementing strategies. At present, the government spends 23 to 24 rupees for a unit production of electricity and distributes that to the customers and consumers at a rate of rupees 16 and 65 cents. This cannot continue in this manner. Therefore, the country should look for some alternative energy sources and investments to reduce the cost of the production and thereby the selling price also can be brought down to benefit the consumers and came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
This is Watchlight.
Sri Lankan health officials today called on the public to avoid unnecessary travel in the coming weekend, warning that ignoring health guidelines and engaging in public gatherings could lead to another surge in COVID-19 cases. Deputy Director General of Health Services Dr. Hemantha Herath said that a long weekend in coming in the next couple of days, that some people must have already made plans to put leave on Friday and engage in travelling. He warned that in most occasions it is large groups that gather for such trips and excursions and that this poses a high risk of virus transmission. He emphasized the importance of people avoiding taking such unnecessary risks as much as possible. Dr. Herath said that if anyone is engaging in travel for some unavoidable reason, or if they are going to places where people are gathering, if those places are crowded, it is important at this moment to avoid going to those places and spend your vacation in another quiet place. He urged everyone to refrain from unnecessary travel at this time. That came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
In the headlines, missing 4-year-old found alive in Australia. Britney Spears blames mum for ruining my life with conservatorship. And Facebook to end use of facial recognition software. A 4-year-old girl missing for 18 days in a remote part of Western Australia has been found alive and well in a locked house, police have said. Cleo Smith disappeared from her family's tent at a campsite near the town of Carnarvon on 16th October, triggering a massive search. A 36-year-old man is in custody and being questioned by detectives. Police smashed their way into a home in Carnarvon in the early hours of Wednesday following forensic clues. Britney Spears has said she blames her mother for the conservatorship that has controlled her life for 13 years. The star's father, Jamie, has been the public face of the legal arrangement that means a pop star has minimal say in her personal and financial affairs. But writing online, the singer claimed it was her mother, Lynn's idea. Facebook has announced it will no longer use facial recognition software to identify faces in photographs and videos. There have been growing concerns about the ethics of facial recognition technology, with questions raised over privacy, racial bias, and accuracy. Regulators had not yet provided a clear set of rules over how it should be used, the company said. It has used a barrage of criticism over its impact on its users. Back to the headlines of the world news. Missing 4-year-old found alive in Australia. Britney Spears blames her mum for ruining my life with conservatorship. And Facebook to end use of facial recognition software. That concludes this bulletin of world news.
Development News.
The epidemical unit of the health department says 71% of the population has received the first dose of COVID vaccine, while 62% have taken both doses. Head of the unit, consultant Dr. Samita Ginike, stresses that general public has a major responsibility in controlling the spread of the virus in this country, and came to you in Development News.
Moving on with Sports News.
In cricket, Babar Azam and Walindu Hasaranga have claimed 2 top spots in the ICC's latest rankings for T20I batters and bowlers, respectively, with the latter achieving the feat for the first time in his career. Babar, who has been crucial in Pakistan's run to the semi-finals with a 4-in-4 record, is the third highest run getter in the ongoing T20 World Cup with 198 runs from 4 innings. That's sports news. Business news up next.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
People's Bank was named among the top 10 most admired companies in Sri Lanka for the 4th consecutive year by the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, the International Chamber of Commerce of Sri Lanka, ICCSL, and the Daily FT. The award was received by the People's Bank Chairman Sujiva Rajapaksa and Chief Executive Officer General Manager Ranjit Kodituaku of the People's Bank at the award ceremony held recently at the BMICH. That's business news, economic news to follow.
Business News, Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
CBSL Deputy Governor TMJYP Fernando said that in order to facilitate an inclusive digital economy, it is important to create seamless transactions and interoperability of all components that allow connectivity of different users, solutions and devices. Noting that seamless payment should be facilitated in digital environment as well as in physical environments with the interoperability of digital payment solutions, she said that the Sri Lankan government is working on digital identity and will resolve many holdings such as data exchange and reduce the friction of digitization of financial services. That came to you in economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
The Met Department says showers will occur at times in the western and Sabragama provinces and in Gaul and Matara districts. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places elsewhere in the evening or night. Fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimeters, can be expected at some places in the Uva, central, north central and northwestern provinces. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thundershowers. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com reports that the day's weather was observed to be bright with occasional showers. Today's daytime temperature was around 28 degrees Celsius. There will light showers in many places in Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 24 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 27 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index AQI is 17, which show fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is ideal for most individuals. Enjoy your normal outdoor activities.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
And now to conclude this bulletin of news, and before we hand over to Chandima, a recap of the headlines. Government decides to remove price control on sugar. The electricity and power generation officers and professionals point out that it is important to look at the long-term benefits from the Yuga Dhanavi investment rather than looking at the short-term shortcomings and drawbacks. The government has taken effective measures to retake the slit and develop it as a state-owned university. COVID update, 474 new infections confirmed so far today. Sri Lanka records 21 more COVID-related deaths. Health officials warn against unnecessary travel during weekend. World leaders promise to end deforestation by 2030. Facebook to end use of facial recognition software. T20 international rankings, Wanindu Hasaranga claims top spot. Babar Azam returns to number 1 position. That concludes tonight's news broadcast.